Least to most likely to avoid accountability zodiac signs. Accountability is not just saying sorry. Sometimes it is brutal ownership of a massive failure, and other times it is weaponized, tearful victimhood. We rank the zodiac from responsible leaders to those who escape all blame. Number 12, Capricorn. This disciplined earth sign treats taking accountability like a binding blood oath. They despise cowardly excuses, viewing the avoidance of personal blame as a pathetic weakness. If they ruin a massive corporate project, they do not hide. They walk directly into the boardroom, confess their exact miscalculation, and instantly present a flawless financial recovery plan. Their boss-level ownership is unmatched. They swallow consequences without shedding a tear, rebuilding their empire upon the ashes of their own failures. They earn respect because they never ask anyone else to clean up a mess they made with their own two hands. Number 11, Taurus. This grounded earth sign possesses a massive stubborn streak, but their moral code forces them to own their mistakes. They refuse to perform messy emotional gymnastics just to dodge basic blame. If they accidentally break your expensive coffee mug, they will not spin a bizarre defensive narrative. They just bluntly admit it and instantly buy a much better replacement. However, their apology is incredibly brief and lacks tears. They fix the material damage perfectly, but refuse to dwell on the emotional wreckage. Do not expect a heartfelt conversation. Just expect a package arriving the next morning. Number 10, Virgo. This analytical earth sign cannot avoid accountability because their critical brain catches their own mistakes before anyone else even notices. They are obsessed with perfection, meaning they internalize massive guilt instantly. If they accidentally give you terrible advice, they confess their factual error, punishing themselves with internal criticism for 3 consecutive weeks. They respect absolute truth over fragile ego preservation. However, their apology usually includes a detailed, slightly annoying spreadsheet meticulously explaining why their mathematical logic temporarily failed them that specific day. They want you to know exactly how the system broke down so it never happens again. Number 9, Aries. This cardinal fire sign operates on a blindingly fast, impulsive frequency that guarantees messy daily mistakes. Surprisingly, they lack the strategic patience required to maintain a complex lie. If they start a terrible argument, their blazing pride shatters exactly 5 minutes later. They storm back into the room, admit they acted unhinged, and demand you instantly accept their apology. They take accountability swiftly, but expect you to erase the incident from the historical record right this exact second. If you bring the argument up again next week, they will be genuinely furious that you are living in the past. Number 8, Scorpio. This private water sign views loyalty as their highest religion, meaning they take extreme accountability when they hurt someone inside their tiny inner circle. However, if you are outside their trusted fortress, they refuse to acknowledge a single mistake. They possess terrifying psychological defenses, refusing to hand you the ammunition of an admission. If directly confronted by an enemy, they will coldly stare through your physical body, maintaining absolute silence until you doubt your own memory of the offensive event. They will gaslight a casual acquaintance without blinking, saving their raw honesty exclusively for the people they truly love. Number 7, Leo. This proud fire sign struggles with raw accountability simply because their towering, fragile ego views admitting fault like an agonizing public execution. They desperately want to maintain a glorious, unblemished royal image. If they ruin dinner, they reframe the entire narrative, claiming the oven was defective and praising their own quick survival skills. When backed into an undeniable corner, their eventual apology is highly theatrical and dramatic, designed to make you feel bad for forcing them to humble themselves. They will buy you expensive flowers, but they will make sure you know how difficult the journey to the florist was. Number 6, Cancer. This sensitive water sign utilizes their emotional tides like an impenetrable defensive shield. They hate causing real pain, but taking logical accountability disrupts their carefully curated, protective shell. If you confront them about a toxic habit, they will instantly burst into devastating tears, hijacking the entire situation. They forcefully turn the conversation toward their own profound internal suffering. By becoming the bleeding victim of the current timeline, they force you to apologize for upsetting them. entirely escaping the original blame. You walk into the room demanding answers, and you walk out comforting them while rubbing their back. Number 5, Aquarius. This detached air sign avoids standard human accountability by pretending they operate above the messy laws of basic gravity. If they recklessly hurt your feelings by ghosting you for 3 weeks, they refuse to accept personal blame. Instead, they coldly deliver an intellectual, bizarre lecture about the artificial social construct of modern texting expectations. They rationalize their selfish behavior using alien logic, leaving you profoundly confused and unable to pin a single shred of actual guilt directly on them. They turn a personal betrayal into a philosophical debate, making you feel foolish for having standard human emotional needs. Number 4, Sagittarius. This independent fire sign uses blazing, high-speed movement to outrun the shadow of accountability. They despise looking backwards at their own chaotic wreckage. If they ruin a massive group project through sheer negligence, they will pack a travel bag and flee the state before the messy fallout even settles. They brush off absolute disaster using toxic positivity, loudly declaring that everything happens for a mystical cosmic reason. They rebrand their terrible mistakes as hilarious stories for the next party. They will buy you a drink to say sorry, but they will never sit down to actually discuss their bad behavior. Number 3, Libra. This aesthetic air sign is absolutely terrified of confrontation, making true accountability impossible to obtain. They prioritize superficial visual harmony above the ugly, uncomfortable truth. If they betray a close friend, they deploy a beautifully worded word salad that technically avoids the central issue. They will softly agree with everything you angrily say while smoothly shifting the actual blame onto random external circumstances. They slip out of the hot seat, leaving zero fingerprints on the messy disaster. They will smile, hold your hand, and somehow convince you that Mercury retrograde is the real reason they missed your important graduation ceremony. Number 2, Gemini. This hyperactive air sign possesses a fast, weaponized intellect designed to actively argue their way out of disaster. They view accountability as a flexible debate topic rather than a moral requirement. If caught telling a massive lie, they instantly deploy 12 different contradictory explanations within 40 seconds. They gaslight the actual timeline, rapidly dissecting your word choice to distract you from their own terrible actions. Trying to logically pin them down is exactly like trying to nail wet smoke directly onto drywall. They will exhaust you with verbal gymnastics until you just give up and walk away with a headache. Number 1, Pisces. Taking the top spot is this evasive water sign, mastering the dark art of weaponized, tearful innocence. When cornered with undeniable facts of their betrayal, they magically slip into an entirely different dimensional reality. They wield their profound emotional fragility like a destructive weapon. They passionately claim they possessed beautiful, pure intentions, completely ignoring the real-world damage. They convince themselves of their own flawless, victimized narrative, leaving you standing in the wreckage holding zero earthly justice. They will look at you with wide, watery eyes and genuinely believe they did nothing wrong because their heart was in the right place. Thank you for watching the video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments box. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.